It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning. It is Minnesota's 92 KQRS on a Tuesday morning, November the 25th. Good morning, one and all. Especially to you, Paul Fletcher.
Oh, well, hi. Hello. You know what? I have to express some excitement because I can't do it tomorrow. Stranger Things Season 5 drops tomorrow, and the entire household is ready.
Oh, okay. So, well, I'm happy for the kids. It's kind of a kick in the shins to me, but
Why?
okay, that's fine. Who cares? But your kids do, so I do.
I care. I love it.
Oh, please, really?
It's so good. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
All right, I got a lot of making up to do. But it starts tomorrow?
Yeah, well, it's the last season. It's the
All right,
finale.
I'm going to crank out 4 seasons today. Ryder!
Do it.
Get in my belly!
Oh, my
Food
God.
drops on Thursday.
Good
Man.
call.
I tell you what,
Slightly
man.
more important than Stranger Things.
No. We can have both. No, we can have both.
Okay.
No, we cannot. You must choose.
All right. One's
Stranger
gonna be,
Things or Thanksgiving.
One's going to be more important than the other,
if
and
you
I
put
think
it-
most people are voting for food. I do like Stranger Things.
But
Do you really?
if I have to choose
Yeah.
one, I will take Thanksgiving dinner.
I watched an episode when it first came on, and
Yeah.
I heard them say something about Dungeons and Dragons, and immediately changed the channel. I should probably go back and not be quite so judgmental.
Yeah, it does have, if you're a Dungeons and Dragons nerd, I'm sure there are Easter eggs throughout. I've never played it. I don't know anything about it, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Look, man, all I know is you got to have boundaries in life. That's what my therapist says. All right, let's get to it. I'm feeling Minnesota. Dungeons and Dragons is one such boundary. It's more of a moat, really. But let's,
It is a moat.
But I
I get it.
digress.
With alligators.
I need headlines, for God's sakes, and one of them better not be Stranger Things, Paul Fletcher.
They are not. They are snow, though. The first winter storm warning of the season has been issued in Minnesota.
Bring it!
The Tuesday to Wednesday system could dump up to 15 inches of snow around Grand Marais, up to 11 in Duluth. St. Cloud could even see around 6. And the Twin Cities are now in the crosshairs. We could get 1 to 3.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
We're still in a winter weather advisory, but that's what they're saying, 1 to 3 inches.
I was driving back. I was coming back up from Tennessee in January of 24, doing the long drive with Chauncey and Milo the cat. Got to drive the animals when we go down for a week.
Sure.
And I hit black ice at Sunrise in Indiana somewhere,
Ooh.
and boy, let me tell you. The
Wake-up call?
adrenaline was about 40 minutes. I was spiked after that one.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, boy. And then I finally settled down and pulled over and fell asleep because after the adrenaline rush, then you got the crash.
Yeah, you were exhausted,
Yeah, black
I'm
ice
sure.
ain't playing, man.
No,
Gotta be
it's-
careful out there.
That's legit for sure. You know what? When we're fixing to get hit with our first blast of snow, the best time to think about the Minnesota State Fair. And they've got their annual lowest price of the year on admission tickets going on today only. Tickets will be just $15 with a limit of 12 tickets per order. And again, that's only available today while supplies last.
We are just 274 days, 22 hours, and 59 minutes away from the gates opening on the 2026 Minnesota State Fair.
I can't
Stock
imagine what it's like to be able to plan that far ahead. I have no idea what's going to happen to me today regarding lunch, much less where I'll be in late August of 2026.
Same. I feel the same way.
Wow.
If you are flying after Thanksgiving and are going to bring leftovers, TSA wants to remind you the rules. Here's what you can bring through a checkpoint. Basically all the solid stuff. Baked goods, meats, stuffing, casseroles, as long as it's solid. Mac and cheese must be solid and cooked in a pan, or you can bring the deconstructed ingredients. Fresh fruits, vegetables, candy, spices. It's crazy. You basically can just bring everything. If you want thick liquids, they have to be in a baggage. Checked in your baggage. Cranberry sauce, gravy, jams, maple syrup. I giggle about this thinking, like, do people actually have to go through this? It's crazy.
If you're traveling on a plane, you shouldn't have to do any cooking.
I would think so, and you certainly shouldn't have to take it home. This is so great. I want to bring it home with me. Just wait till next year.
Yeah.
I can't believe that this is even a thing.
And I'll be the first to say this, it's a good that I'm not working in the baggage industry for an airline, because if I were a TSA guy and I was the guy, they're like, there's a suspicious bag of liquid in that suitcase, I'd open it up and I'd see Myrtle's gravy and I'd be like, I'm going to have to poke a hole in that bag just to teach them a lesson. Don't fly with leftovers. My God, take them to a food bank. What's the matter with you?
Enough people must do it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
Who's flying home with leftovers?
Oh, my God. With a ton of cars on the road traveling for the holiday, the national crash rate jumps 13% during Thanksgiving week, including a 65% spike on the Sunday after the holiday. God, just don't drive that day. Holy hell. Samsara identified, I don't know what that is, a research firm, I'm guessing, identified the most dangerous routes across the U.S. based on characteristics like rapid temperature swings, wind exposure, and congested metro interchanges with both passenger and freight vehicles. The list includes stretches of I-80 through Iowa and I-70 in Colorado. There are a bunch of others that are, further away from us, but those are the most gnarly near us.
So don't go to Iowa is what I'm hearing?
Don't go to Colorado either, or Nebraska.
When they shut down I-70, let me tell you something, man. The ripple effects are really, they go out in a wide swath. Fun fact, on tour, 2010, walk off stage in Denver, Colorado, and the bus driver goes, guys, we got to go. The next gig's in San Francisco.
Yes.
That's a long drive.
Yeah. And you're going through the mountains, right?
Well, no, because they just shut I-70, which meant to get to San Francisco from Denver, we had to go to Albuquerque. Look at a map and figure that one
Oh,
out.
yeah, that's a lot of hours.
Yeah, that was a real long drive all of a sudden.
Yeah, wow. That was a fun fact.
Yeah, no, trucker uppers are it, y'all.
Steven Soderbergh has confirmed his upcoming documentary on John Lennon's final interview is almost done. The interview that Soderbergh's forthcoming film will focus on was given by John and Oko on December 8th, 1980 at RKO Radio in New York. That's just hours before he was murdered that evening. Soderbergh calls the interview an incredible historical document, emphasizing the importance of presenting it in a way that enhances the content.
I know, I'm familiar with that interview. I've read it many times, and it is chock full of amazing content. I mean, my man went out on a hell of a note. If that's the last, as it was the last time he ever spoke into a mic. Oh man, it's fantastic, and I bet Soderbergh will do a great job with it.
Scientists in China have been messing around with a fungus that is already being used as a meat alternative to make it more nutritious, easier to digest, and easier to produce. So perhaps next year's Thanksgiving meal will include fungus. By tweaking the DNA, the researchers engineered, the fungus to also taste more like meat and impact the environment less than traditional livestock and even the lab-grown meat that's out there now. If the scientists keep perfecting this stuff, we could be looking at, like I said, a fungus and not turkey on your Thanksgiving table.
Yet hallucinating for Thanksgiving is what I'm hearing.
I'm hearing vegans all around the world going, I'll have an extra turkey sandwich in your honor. Thank you.
I'm going to wait until they actually get this stuff right before.
Sure. I'm always up for round 2 or 3. I never get the first version they introduce.
Right.
Sure. I think nature already got it right, and you can already just eat freaking mushrooms.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Absolutely.
Listen, if you're feeling bold, if you're feeling froggy, hit right to the cap.
I will say this: I had an Impossible Burger once, and they were quite good. But then I read the nutrition facts, and they're just the same as a burger, so I went back to meat.
Right on. Glad to hear it.
In 1990, the film adaptation rights for Jurassic Park were eventually acquired by Steven Spielberg and Universal Pictures. However, James Cameron attempted to secure the rights to Jurassic Park. Spielberg beat him to it. Cameron envisioned a more terrifying R-rated version of the story, liking it to Aliens, but with dinosaurs. What do you think about that? That would have been interesting, huh? Got dinosaurs ripping people limb from limb?
I thought that's what happened in the first one because I wouldn't know. I've never seen it.
You've never seen it? It was the first PG-13 movie I ever saw.
I was busy in the 90s. I didn't have time for Spielberg blockbusters.
Well,
unless it was Saving Private Ryan. I had all the time in the world for that one.
Well, it did gross over $1 billion, so it did okay the way that it was.
Okay,
and
hindsight, 30 years on, should I watch it?
Yeah,
would I enjoy
Totally
Jurassic Park?
Totally holds up.
I just watched it maybe like 2 months ago. Still good, and the effects aren't cheesy.
Okay,
no, they actually. Sometimes you look back at effects and go, I can't believe we believed that was real. And we actually had it on in the house yesterday. It totally.
I don't have a thing about some movies where I'm like, there's no way I'm watching. It just hasn't happened. I mean, I will full on. I mean, the kids are in town for the weekend. Maybe we'll stick. I don't know that anybody in my family's ever seen it. It's never come up in conversation.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun watch. I hadn't seen it up until like 5 years ago. My wife was like, "You've never seen it?"
Well,
and
I
now
do
we
know
watch
that
it a lot.
I do know that the king of hand acting, Jeff Goldblum, is in it.
Yes,
so I
it is
could
great.
Just for Goldblum alone,
You
with
can't.
those hands.
Yeah.
So the Triceratops. I can imagine that being worth my time.
You've heard the Samuel L. Jackson soundbite. Hold on to your butts.
Okay.
That's Jurassic Park.
I didn't know he was in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
got a lot
small
to
part,
learn.
but small part.
Newman's in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's worth
Newman?
seeing. Yeah.
Yep.
It's totally worth seeing. Oh yeah, it's great. It's fun.
Wow.
It's a lot of work to cook a Thanksgiving meal, of course, so be extra thankful to anyone who's contributing to yours. And because of that, there's no shame in calling for backup. According to a new report, 53% of Americans plan to order takeout or delivery from restaurants for Thanksgiving dinner. That's up from 37% in 2024 and 32% in 2023. So are we getting lazier, busier, or what? 53% ordering takeout or delivery.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Do what you got to do.
Right.
Yeah. They're doing a lot of those Thanksgiving meal kits at restaurants. Like I know Surly Brewing is doing one. A bunch of restaurants do them. That really, if you're only feeding like 4 to 6 people, that seems to be the way to go to me.
There was one time when we did wait a little long, but we couldn't find a turkey less than, this is for 12 people.
Right.
I was
Sure.
like, oh, come on. Well, what's the point? And then basically, I think I've already said this. The last couple of years, we didn't even have a turkey. We were like, screw
Really?
it.
Yeah.
We got a turkey breast. It was fine.
Yeah.
Easier, more moist. Didn't have to worry about the weird,
The giblets.
roping it off and cutting out all the giblets and the niblets and the hiblets and the.
It's all the blitz, really, that are our problem.
That's it.
Yeah. That's what I got.
Let's talk sports, shall we? For the second game in a row, the Timberwolves suck when it matters the most. They lost to the Sacramento Kings last night, who had won 2 games before last night, I believe. There was a 10-point lead late in the fourth quarter that the Timberwolves vanquished, and then they took it to overtime. The Kings, by the way, never led once in the first 48 minutes of the game.
Unreal.
They tied at the very last moments to send it to overtime. Absolutely mind-boggling. But the good news is our next game is at Oklahoma City, who's 17-1.
Oh, well.
Better than last year. They're gonna absolutely roll the Timberwolves, and they should. By the way, this whole thing's on one man, Anthony Edwards. If you're the best shooting guard in the league, which all the GMs in the preseason poll said you were, step up and be a leader. And you know what that means? There's no such thing as work-life balance, dude. You have ball and you have sleep. That's it. Lead or move on. I am up to here with Anthony Edwards not being the player he should be, and that extends to his life off the court.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Hey, man, I love the guy.
I know you do.
Yeah,
But
you do.
but let's just look at the greatest of all time, which he wants to see himself on that list. By the time they were 4 or 5 years in the league, they weren't kidding around.
Yeah.
Right.
Kill or be killed. It's
Yeah.
professional sports.
Is it too much Matilda?
It might be too much Matilda.
Okay.
He's going to have a great up-front and close personal look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, last year's MVP, who spends every day of his life telling his teammates, we suck, we have to get better. That's what it takes.
Yeah.
The Loons in San Diego last night. They held the upstart expansion San Diego FC to 1 shot on goal in the whole game. The Loons played out of their minds. That 1 shot from San Diego didn't even come until the 70th minute. Unfortunately, that one and only shot on goal actually went into the goal.
Yeah.
And that's all it took. The Loons lose 1-0. Season over. Better luck next time. They did play really well.
Bummer, yeah.
That's the kind of game that's a reminder of why the beautiful game is the greatest game, because it reflects life more than any other. Life itself, fair? No.
Nope.
Not at all. If you want a fair, it comes every summer for a couple weeks. Go get yourself a pronto pup.
All right, enough fun and games.
That's exactly right. The Vikings have announced J.J. McCarthy's in a concussion protocol.
That's weird.
Is he, though?
Well, all I know is this. He played the fourth quarter like a man concussed. I'm not trying to be funny.
All right.
You know what?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fair point.
I will accept those last few minutes, that last interception especially, as a man who could not see straight. Go ahead and dial up Dan Wilson for a little tune called Brosmer Time. Let's go, Max Brosmer. I want you to Wally Pip JJ McCarthy. Come on.
Let's do it. Yeah, that'd be fun.
It wasn't that long ago, a little over a decade ago. The Seattle Seahawks, remember Matt Flynn filled in as the backup for the Packers and looked amazing? And the Seahawks were like, we want that kid. And they gave him a Brinks truck of money.
Yeah.
And then that lowly little draft pick from Wisconsin named Russell Wilson won the starting job in camp. Oh, and they won a Super Bowl, didn't they? Don't tell me it ain't possible. Come on, Max Brosmer.
I like it.
I have one bit of advice for Brosmer. If he gets to start in Seattle on Sunday, throw the ball to JJ a lot.
Yeah, and actually hit him if he's open.
And you know what? He'll be happy if you do. Looking back quickly, on this day in 1921, so that's 104 years ago, the first ever play-by-play broadcast of a football game on the radio.
No way.
Nice.
And it was College Station, Texas. It was the University of Texas versus Texas A&M. How about that?
Not a rivalry at all.
Imagine that play-by-play. Here's a handoff of the football to Smith, and he runs full speed into the scrum, just like every other play. But football 104 years ago was really dull.
Yeah. They didn't throw it at all yet, did they?
No. He ran right into the back of his own center position. Again. Carver. Come on, Carver.
Hell yeah, Carver.
I ain't talking about no burgers. I'm talking about a town.
Yeah, a little foggy out there this morning, probably.
Little bit. I bet.
Yeah, I got the fog. Yeah.
Yeah. Put on those little fog. Don't put on the brights, Carver. Do not put on the brights.
No.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning. Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Even when I get it right, I get it wrong.
Man, it's tough to be you.
Man, I years ago it occurred to me, you know what? If I get up and get out of bed and immediately make that bed, then my day's already off on the right foot.
I like it.
Okay, sure.
And I, it's like, remember the old, when I was a kid, they ran the ads, the Navy, we get more done before 9 a.m. than most people do in a whole day.
Oh, yeah, I remember
And
that.
I was like, yeah, I'm never going to be in the Navy, but I can make my bed right away.
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Logic.
Hey, my dad was not above, the bed check. I better be able to bounce a quarter off that bed or all that, whatever that crap was.
Yeah.
We had to make the bed. We had to do the corners on the sheet. The whole thing had to be just right.
Damn.
He had some issues. Anyway, and he handed them off to us. Anyway, at some point in my adult life, I was like, you know what? If I just get up and make the bed, I read a whole thing, and it was like your subconscious already says, I've accomplished something today. You're already up and working it. You're shaking off the dreams, and yesterday you're moving forward. And now apparently word on the street says, no. Give your bed a little while to recover from the night's activity.
My bed needs to recover.
Yeah, when you sleep, your body gives off heat and sweat, and that soaks into your bedding. And if you immediately make the bed, it just sort of allows it to steep and seep into the sheets.
Well, you're essentially, so you're sealing off the bed, basically.
Yeah, that little cocoon you just came out of, it draws dust mites, because they love moisture, as well as dead skin cells. So the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America says, hey, check this out. Pull back your covers and let the bed breathe for about 30 to 60 minutes.
Breathe?
Yeah, crack a window, flip on a fan.
So you're going to have to go back home during the show to make your bed?
Apparently so. If you let your sheets dry out, they become a whole lot less welcoming to mites, mildew, and funky smells. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Uh-oh.
You know what? The mites, mildew, and funky smells have been serving me just fine all these years.
Yeah, good for your immune system, right?
If I stop making the bed in the morning, it's never. I'm not going to go back in after an hour and make it. It's going to be unmade all day.
Right.
It's going to lead to an unkempt appearance generally. It's going to lead to a feeling of inadequacy, and I could see myself getting nothing done.
Oh no.
Inadequacy, especially.
Maybe we just go for a sleeping bag situation.
In your face, Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America. Back off. Let me live my life.
Plus, if you have all those mites, you got less dead skin.
See.
Yeah, I'm trying to put a positive spin on this.
Might's got to be good for something. Hey, Thanksgiving is on Thursday. Did you guys haven't forgotten that?
I heard. Yeah.
No, I thought we were just excited about Stranger Things.
Let's go ahead and discuss. A few things about the Thanksgiving meal. Like, I don't know, everybody's second favorite potato dish. Ooh, gear up for that one. That's in 5 minutes and 2 songs.
Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder will be.
We've been doing it wrong, ladies and gentlemen, because every year at Thanksgiving, we, the Gorman family, and that's the extended Gorman family.
Sure.
Every Gorman family hang I've ever been at in Thanksgiving, there's one potato dish. It's mashed.
Okay.
And even bad mashed potatoes are good to me.
Sure.
I'm going to eat them regardless.
Yeah.
Some are better than others. But apparently, a lot of people can't get enough potatoes, so there's a second potato dish on the table. I didn't know this.
Man.
Where have I been?
Yeah, I've been living life wrong, too.
Paul?
We have 3.
3?
You have 3?
Okay, hold on. Mashed potatoes.
Yep.
Yeah.
A staple. And you mentioned the other day, got to have the sour cream, got to have the butter, got to have the milk, have all of it.
Yep.
Salt and pepper to taste, I'm sure.
100%. If it were up to me, skins on, but the rest of the family doesn't like that.
Okay, fair enough. So what's number 2?
Sweet potatoes.
Oh, well that okay,
borderline.
got it. That I think of that as a different vegetable.
Okay. Well, okay, that's fair enough. But I mean, it's still
but what's number 3?
So we do the
potato chips?
Cheesy potatoes.
Cheesy potatoes.
Yeah, dude, it's like diced up potatoes into it's essentially like it's like a potato casserole almost. You know
like
what I mean?
Like a cheesy hash brownish, like diced up.
Yeah.
Sliced
for
and
sure
diced
with cornflakes and cheese and yada yada yada.
Casserole.
Get in my belly!
Yeah, sounds pretty damn good.
It is tasty. It's just kind of become a thing, and but at the same time, when we introduce new stuff, we don't want to discount old stuff. You know what I mean? So we just add. We don't replace.
I'm curious.
Eventually, is it just going to be like tapas? Like you just get a tiny little taste of every freaking thing?
Yeah, well, that and we'll have to have like a trailer outside to store all the food because we don't replace anything. We just add to it, right? So yeah,
you're just going to have to get a ton of those little paper ketchup cups. You get sometimes you pump it in. Just a ton of those on the table.
Sample.
Yeah, basically shots of food
and a little spork.
Yeah, right.
A little plastic spork.
Like going to the freaking Costco or the Sam's Club.
Oh yeah,
that's what the Fletcher Thanksgiving is like.
Man, I had a cranberry jalapeno dip on a cracker at Costco the other day that set me free.
Jalapeno.
I liked it so much I didn't buy it. Seriously, I was like, oh no, I can't. Yes. I will eat that whole tub.
So what was it?
It was just like a cream cheese, cranberry, and jalapeno, and man, it was.
God, yeah, that sounds
good. Just hurt me.
Oh.
Like I wanted to go get a second one. I was like, no, just walk away, dude. You're 60.
Well, if you weren't going to buy it, you should have allowed yourself a second one.
No,
right.
Couldn't do it.
I respect
the second one would have led to a purchase.
Yeah.
I respect your discipline.
Ooh, it was tough. I'll be honest with you.
You're dreaming about it right now.
So apparently, but like a whole lot of people have a second, if not a third, potato dish. Google Trends has every state's second favorite potato dish. Mashed potatoes is number 1. That's a clear-cut dominant.
Sure.
But here in Minnesota, we don't have cheesy potatoes as number 1 in the number 2 position. The top second choice, we have au gratin potatoes. Au gratin.
That's just freaking cheesy potatoes, is it not?
Basically.
But au gratin is like sliced,
on the mandolin.
a little thicker.
Yes.
Little thicker wedges, if you will.
And there's definitely
discs of potato, if you will.
It's definitely a different flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it is in the cheese and the makeup of what's in there, as opposed to our cheesy potatoes.
But cheesy potatoes. But cheesy potatoes are number 1 in a whole lot of places. Number 1 at number 2.
Okay.
Right.
Again, mashed potatoes leads the list everywhere. There's something in California. Potato tacos is a big one, which makes perfect sense. Just wrap a corn tortilla and throw a little diced.
Like when you go to the Taco John's and they got the potato lays and then you put them in the freaking taco. Yeah, it's like that. Yes.
You
potato
and your
tacos.
Taco John's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right? You lived in Tennessee for quite a while.
20 years.
What the hell is potato candy?
I have no idea. That's
number 1 there.
Ooh.
Not a clue. Here's the thing. I lived in Kentucky and Tennessee, and both of those states are 2 very different things. There's Appalachia, and then there's the rest of the state.
Right.
Yeah.
So potato candy to me sounds like Eastern Tennessee. That sounds like over there by the West Virginia border.
It's not something they made up on Broadway Avenue or whatever in Nashville to
Broadway Avenue.
The bachelorette parties. Is it Broadway Street?
It's just Broadway, baby.
Oh, all right.
It's potato candy does sound like. I mean, that to me, that's going back. That's like an old centuries old hot chick from Dublin. Look at that potato candy.
Yeah.
But I guess not.
It sounds like it could be a shot to me. A vodka shot.
Sure.
Potato candy refers to a no-bake, old-fashioned confection made primarily from mashed potatoes and powdered sugar, typically filled with peanut butter and rolled into pinwheels.
Yeah, okay. The word holler comes to mind, as in down in the holler. Dolly Parton loved that as a child. Again, that's Eastern Tennessee.
Very much.
Yeah. You ain't getting no potato candy in Nashville, and you damn sure ain't getting it in Memphis. I can promise you that much right now.
Okay.
Maybe Knoxville, maybe Chattanooga, but no, that's over. That's over there by Kingsport, buddy. That's over there by the West Virginia border. What is your number 1 second potato dish? We're talking number 2. Most favorite, I should say, potato dishes on Thanksgiving. Number 2, get your mind out of the toilet. No, we're talking about the second.
Comes after Thanksgiving.
Our second favorite potato dishes, mashed potatoes, of course. But what are your second favorite mashed potato or potato dishes? Before I tell you Wisconsin's, Ryder, you have a comment from Facebook.
Tradition aside, what's the best way to prepare potatoes? I asked our Facebook fans, and Christine said, sit them down and talk to them about their sacrifice and remind them that we will be grateful. Christina, winning the day.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Yes.
Very strong. Wisconsin's number 2 most favorite potato dish, again, just for those tuning in, mashed potatoes is number 1, but what's the second most popular potato dish at Thanksgiving?
Sure.
We have au gratin potatoes here in Minnesota. We got cheesy potatoes in South Dakota, Iowa, and Nebraska. Creamy potato soup in Wisconsin.
What?
Okay, I love potato soup.
Sure.
But at Thanksgiving... Okay, here's the problem.
Best?
Here's the problem. You're introducing a whole nother set of. You have to have bowls now at the table.
Sure.
There's not room for another. You got plates. You got glasses. You got all the serving. Now you got to add a bowl and a bowls for everybody. You know what? I would put potato soup. I would use it as gravy on mashed potatoes.
Okay.
I mean, that's how much I like it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that. I don't want potato soup in a bowl. That's all I'm saying. It's just too much stuff.
It's weird. There are better ways to utilize potatoes on your Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think Wisconsin, they just basically anything, you have to be able to drink it if you're in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
that
was my first thought is what if it was given to you as like an appetizer in a mug and you could walk around the living room watching the Lions game drinking some potato soup.
Yeah. And
you know what? I bet they have we all know what Irish coffee is. I bet they have Irish potato soup over in Wisconsin.
And while we're at it, let's just make it beer cheese potato soup.
Who put potato soup in my whiskey? Happy Thanksgiving, Aunt Faye. The Luther Westside Volkswagen talking text line 651-989-ROCK.
Al is wondering if lefse is considered a potato dish, and I say yes.
Oh, yeah. That would be the second potato dish on my Thanksgiving table.
So good. I had a whole bunch of it this last weekend.
Did you?
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
I had an in-law, or not an in-law, I had an extended family pre-Thanksgiving, if you will.
Okay.
It was fantastic. Nice. And you know what? Actually, to Christine's message or comment she left on Facebook, I walked the daughters over to the cows that my Uncle Mark has, and we thanked them for their service.
Nice.
Excellent.
You know, Rosemary makes an incredible lefse.
Really?
Oh, does she?
No, of course not. Are you kidding? She's from Alabama.
I was like, that's freaking hard to do.
Yeah. Italian from Alabama makes great
I just
lefse.
really wanted to see the look on both of your faces, and the job well done.
Oh, all my Scandinavian aunts get together at some point between now and Christmas, and we'll do a whole 6 hours of lefse making.
Right? Yeah.
No, I'd strap on a feed bag for sure.
My aunts did that, and if I was a nicer person, I would have brought you some leftovers, but I hogged it for myself.
Man.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That's all right. No, I get it. I have full respect
Every man
for
for
that.
himself.
100%.
Yeah.
Hey, today on the show, a little later, John O'Hurley at 7:25. John O'Hurley.
Yeah.
Jay Peterman from Seinfeld. He's,
great.
of course, going to be discussing the National Dog Show, which he MCs on NBC on Thursday.
I don't care what he's talking about. I just want to listen to him.
Oh, yeah, of course. By the way,
tones.
also, don't forget for years, game show host as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to know, what's it like to take over Family Feud, and how do you resist just doing Richard Dawson shtick all day long? I don't know. That's got to be tough. Mary Lucia is coming in the final hour of the show to talk about her new memoir, which is fantastic. What Doesn't Kill Me Makes Me Weirder and Harder to Relate to is a walloping great read.
And a great title.
I've read it 3 times. That's a true statement, ladies and gentlemen. I love that book.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the Morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning at Minnesota's 92 KQRS. The Cars right there, a band from Boston, Massachusetts. Which, hey, why not? As long as we're talking New England, let's get John O'Hurley on the horn. John O'Hurley joins us on the show. Jay Peterman from Seinfeld, the man has hosted To Tell the Truth and Family Feud, and the voice of King Neptune on SpongeBob SquarePants, which is really kind of burying the lead in the Gorman household. John, good morning, sir.
Burying the lead. Thank you very much.
Hey, man. Thanks for getting up. Thanks for getting up early and giving us a shout. How you feeling today?
Sure. Nice to talk with you both. I'm feeling great.
The National Dog Show. I mean, let's go back to the first time you hosted it. You had to have been like, wait, really? I get to go talk about dogs and hang out with dogs? I mean, that sounds like the coolest gig imaginable.
Well, you have a good look at it. I kind of looked on it on the death of my acting career. I think Othello starring the celebrated dog show host. In the beginning, I was a little shaky on it, but I looked at the success of it. We had 19 million people watching it the first showing, and that was back in 2002, and we've survived some 24 years now.
It's fantastic. Do you consider yourself? Do you have a better sense of what the judges are looking for? Are you good at picking the winners?
Much better. Oh, yeah, I've got a fairly decent eye right now, and I'm not afraid to spar with my co-host David Fry, the most knowledgeable man in the world of dogs.
Of course,
sure, it was a lot of fun.
Well, it's like if you want to be a better ping pong player, play someone better than you. You're learning from dogs. You're taking all his knowledge. He's not getting any smarter hanging out with you, so it's a great place to be.
He certainly no. Literally, yeah.
Are you a dog owner, John? Or I should say, do you have a dog in your family?
I have two rescues at home, little Charlotte and Mia.
Nice.
But I've always had dogs in my life, and usually I have dogs in pairs.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It's good. I think
they
that's a good
take care
thing.
of one another.
They certainly do. John O'Hurley's with us on Gorman in the Morning. You've done so many things. I mean, for a lot of the people listening to the show, Jay Peterman is just this omnipresent character over on the side of everybody. Everybody remembers just the name. Your voice is the first time a lot of people are probably familiar with that. Such an iconic voice. But was it, I mean, this might be a silly question, stepping into the Seinfeld world, did you feel like you were jumping onto a rocket ship?
I didn't know much about it, honestly. I had a series of my own on ABC just prior to that, and it was canceled on a Wednesday morning, and I went out to dinner that night with my manager, crying in my ear, trying to take the cancellation as personally as I possibly could. Right. And they called from Larry David's office and said, we had this guest star role tomorrow. If you want to come over and do it, you'd have a lot of fun with it. So I said, originally I said no. And my manager never called. And they called me the following morning and said, I didn't call him back, so go over there waiting for you. And had he called and said no, I would have disappeared into a cultural vacuum.
Wow. Well, you know what though? But your entire career. I mean, you're a vocalist. I mean, classically trained, if I'm not mistaken. A bit of a piano player. You've always been a bit of a Renaissance guy, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I hope. Yeah, but I'll tell you, when you're on Seinfeld, that's kind of like walking into St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. Really, it's quite an area of respect.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I want to ask you also, John, while we have you, about Family Feud. I grew up in the Richard Dawson era of Family Feud. It was the biggest thing in the 70s as a kid. I mean, my summers, I didn't go to the pool until I had watched Family Feud. It was just such a big part. And then to step in there after several pretty iconic hosts, was that an interesting sort of, you got to find your own rhythm? I would have just walked in there. I would just be doing Dawson all day, and I'd last, half hour, and they'd say, get out of here.
It really is. You have to kind of develop your own sense of it. I always felt that when I was hosting the show, I was hosting a cocktail party at the house. And you want to be there for the guests that are there, but you try to get out of the way and let the show kind of take its own rhythm. And that was always the best way to do it, because I guarantee you they always stood like deer in the headlights once the TV cameras was on.
Right.
I'll give you a very quick example. The question was this: we surveyed 100 people. Top 6 answers on the board. Name a classic film that begins with the letter C. And you would say?
Casablanca.
Exactly, Casablanca.
Casablanca, okay. Says Citizen Kane, Caddyshack. They were all up there. He reaches over and he goes, Seabiscuit.
Yes.
See, you can't make that stuff up. You have to let it move at the rhythm that it wants.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great. John O'Hurley's with us on Gorman in the Morning. So back to the dog show. What sort of what happens? What sort of prep is there? I mean, I noticed this year there's a new breed, the Danish Swedish farm dog.
Every year we introduce new breeds.
Every year, okay, I didn't realize.
Yeah. And when we started this, there were 165 recognized breeds by the AKC. Today we have 204. So more breeds are coming in because dog shows are more popular. Dogs are more popular, and I think the evolution of the show has a lot to do with that. We get an audience of about 30 million people watching the show on Thanksgiving Day. Next to Super Bowl, it's the most watched show on television.
That is outstanding. Yeah. Well, if you have any sway with the AKC, my dog Chauncey's with us a lot of days here in the morning, and I refer to him as a West Tennessee redneck. That's his breed. So, if you're looking for new breeds, I got one for you. That's all, and all we need is just one good supporter. That's it. Well, hey, man. All right. Let's make it happen. John, as a classically trained vocalist, a man who's a bit of a piano player, let's talk rock music. First rock concert you ever saw, what was it?
The Strawberry Alarm Clock, Incense and Peppermints. Remember them back in the late 60s?
Wow! Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Yep, they were coming. Cool. They were breezing through Hartford, Connecticut, where I lived at the time, and I thought it was absolutely amazing to go see a band live that you had heard on the radio.
I mean, you were a kid if the Strawberry Alarm Clock was still kicking.
Very young.
Yeah.
It was, and I went back to perform at that same theater. I went back to do my Broadway show, Chicago, and I went back and I was in the dressing room that the Strawberry Alarm Clock was in. So I had to kind of pinch myself to say I'd turned that full circle.
That's really cool. That's really cool. John, you also did Spamalot, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, King Arthur and Spamalot. Yeah, but for a couple of years.
Wow.
So did you spend some time with Eric Idle?
Yes, we had a lot of fun, and in fact, all the Pythons were there.
I
had the show for 2 years out in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So it was quite a big hit out there. Robin Williams came, Steve Martin to the opening night, and it was certainly nice to have them there.
All right.
Yeah, it was quite a show.
Yeah, well, you just gave everyone goosebumps here. So well done for that.
1,000%.
The National Dog Show Thursday, that is 12 to 2, simulcast on Peacock, NBC, Thanksgiving Day tradition. John, it is an absolute pleasure to chat with you, man. We'll be watching the dog show. All the best. And you are welcome around these parts anytime, sir.
Well, great to spend time with you both.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right, seriously. Just take your pick. How many cool things has my man got in the hopper at all times?
Here's a little Strawberry Alarm Clock for the uninitiated.
Yeah. Oh, man, there absolutely. My wife hates this song because I sing it all the time. I have a thing. Have I ever explained my incense, peppermint, strawberry wine bit?
You got it, Zach, so go for it.
So anytime if we're talking about anything, and it's 5 syllables, I will sing 5 syllables followed by strawberry wine. and like it'll be, we'll pull into PetSmart and I'll go, dog food, cat litter, peppermint wine, strawberry wine. I just used to do that. I used to do that all the time. Mm-hmm. And it could be about anything. And then there was a time, and it was in the late 90s, and my wife looked at me and she said, I am instituting a ban on that incense, peppermint, strawberry wine thing you do. I can't take it anymore. You have to stop. And I very sincerely went, okay, I get it. Because I think it's hilariously funny the 1 millionth time, I realized, okay, I beat this horse to death. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped it for years.
Cold
and I
turkey.
waited and I waited
Cold
and
turkey.
I waited. And probably 5 or 6 years ago, I just whipped one out like full voice. And she just stared at me. She's like, God, how long have you been waiting? I go, it's like 15 years, man.
So the ban was not lifted?
Oh, no. She never lifted the ban. I just decided I don't care. I'm fighting back. And it's back in our lives now occasionally.
Right.
But when he said strawberry alarm clock, I immediately was like, oh, man, I'm going to have to whip one out today.
Does it get a giggle from time to time now?
No.
No, it never does?
Like we may be at the airport today, and I will go, Marley's flight is late, strawberry wine. It'll just happen.
I think you should, and you should record it with the video so we can all enjoy it.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
We'll
right
put
there.
on the KQ
We just
Insta.
want to see Rosemary's reaction when you do it. Is
Yeah.
what we want
it's the
on
same.
video.
It's like it's very. She has no poker face, but she tries. And
can totally envision
watching
that.
her face not as wildly as it wants to, but still, like Marley and I have good poker faces. You can tell me anything, and I'll just stare at you blankly. My daughter, even more so. I sometimes I think she's dead inside. She's so good at it. My wife and my son, zero.
Yeah.
Zero. I mean, they are wearing it on their face. And Connell's actually a good poker player. If he's playing poker, he has a poker face in a literal time when you need one. But in life, absolutely can't hold a thing in. It's hilarious.
I like it.
These things happen. All right. I'm happy to talk to John O'Hurley. That was fun. All right. It's time to give away, hopefully, some wild tickets. We've got tickets to see the Capitals on December the 16th.
Ovechkin.
And in order to provide a listener with tickets to see Ovechkin, we're going to play a little game we call WTF. Wisconsin, Texas, Florida.
Nice.
It's my version today. So I found 3 stories. These stories all happened in either Florida, Texas, or Wisconsin.
Not
or
Wyoming.
Wisconsin, Texas, or Florida, if you prefer. Not Wyoming.
All right.
Not the Dakotas.
Not
no,
Rhode
it
Island.
is WTF, ladies and gentlemen. So
Okay.
we're going to play
Copy
you 3
that.
clips from news stories, and then we will ask someone to call in. The first caller to get all 3 correct will win these tickets. Let's just get right to it. Here is your first story. Just dude in a hurry.
Details into the arrest of an alleged super speeder. Troopers clocked a 20-year-old going 155 miles an hour. When they pulled him over, they say he thought he was going about 80 down County. Fox 35's Stephanie Buff-Monty found out how police were able to catch him.
95 over the posted speed limit, that is a missile going down the interstate system, and it can kill someone.
Lieutenant Tara Crescenzi says a highway patrol trooper doing radar enforcement clocked Octavius Hunt doing 155 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone. It happened around 1 a.m. Sunday on I in this Dodge Challenger. That's when the trooper called in for help.
We had a trooper up ahead that was able to identify that vehicle, and then put them 2 together. They were able to put a vehicle in front and a vehicle behind and get them over on the shoulder.
The 20-year-old told troopers he was only going 80 miles per hour as he headed to a friend's house with 3 others in his car. But the trooper didn't buy it.
It is so dangerous to be driving that fast.
Hunt was arrested under super speeder law, which heightens penalties for anyone going over 100 miles per hour.
To be traveling 155 miles per hour, you were obviously trying to show your passengers what that vehicle could do, and luckily we were able to stop you before it became a tragedy.
Reporting in Stephanie Buff-Monty, Fox 35 News.
Damn.
Couple of thoughts.
155.
Dodge. Nice job. I didn't know the Dodge Challenger coming off the line could hit 155.
Yeah, it's impressive.
And secondly, doing that with 3 passengers.
And it's dark out. 1 a.m.?
All 4 of them, I would imagine, were like, yeah, all right, man, you're doing almost 80.
Nice.
How high were they? All right. There's one for you. Here's another one. This is a story of an arrest. We got some nudity. It's all the things you're looking for in a story.
Excellent.
A man was arrested last night in the nude after allegedly stealing jewelry from a pop-up at a Southside. It happened at the on South Zarzamora near Southwest Military around 4:30 p.m. Police say the 38-year-old man broke into a glass case at the Bella Jewelry. As the suspect tried to get away, a man shopping at tried to stop him, but was hit by the suspect's car. That man was taken to the hospital for further treatment. PD later found the suspect's car and found the suspect nearby running on foot. The preliminary report states he was completely nude when officers caught him. He's facing charges of felony aggravated robbery.
So the nakedness was to evade the arrest?
I believe it was.
Okay.
You're not going to find the jewelry's on me. I'm nude.
Yes.
Right. That won't draw any attention to you either.
No, there are obviously just the inherent family jewels jokes you can make, but he did knock off a jewelry store and then flee in a car, running someone over, and then jumping out and running away nude.
Okay.
That's you know what that is? That's an afternoon.
That's a trifecta.
That's a whole lot going on in one day.
Oh,
all right,
boy.
and then finally we have another story. A woman tussling with police officers, and then, well, it goes awry. Gun is there's a bullet fired, and then a race to the hospital. You'll hear it all.
Okay.
Thank you, Blaine. Tonight we're learning more about a woman shot by a deputy during a traffic stop in. Now, this happened yesterday along Boy Scout Drive right outside Galloway Ford. Deputies say they shot this woman, 63-year-old Sandra Nichols, in the elbow during a traffic stop. She then drove off to take herself to the hospital. News reporter Natasha Casal has more on her arrest.
63-year-old Sandra Nichols has been arrested by the County Sheriff's Office after driving herself to Memorial Hospital. She did so after getting shot in the elbow by a deputy during a traffic stop Friday. We spoke to a woman who says she saw the deputy fire the shot.
You see the cop walk out and then pull the hand up, and then I had looked back and the gun went off and you just hear the pop.
Now, the question on everyone's mind is what led the officer to pull the trigger.
It's pretty concerning. I would hope at least that they get out with some information sooner rather than later.
When I stopped by Nichols' home in neighbors told me off camera that she's been battling addiction for years. They say she would also house sit for some neighbors, but would throw parties and completely trash the apartment. In one case, neighbors tell me she even stole a neighbor's car and totaled it. Nichols has been arrested 20 times on charges of battery, domestic violence, drugs, contempt, grand theft auto, forgery, and DUI.
We're not going to tolerate felons roaming the street and committing more crime. And thankfully, nobody else was hurt.
Nichols is facing charges of aggravated battery, fleeing and eluding, driving with a suspended license, and felony violation of probation. Natasha Casal, News.
Man, 60-something and still throwing house parties that get the police called?
63. And by the way, she's looking every bit of 83.
I mean, she's got a Thanksgiving dinner's worth of offenses, but did she still deserve to be shot in the elbow?
Well, it's one of the few times when the police can honestly say, I'm shooting you for your own good.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But by the way, she took a bullet to the elbow and is like, well, I guess I got to drive myself to the hospital.
Right.
So I'll have whatever she's having. All right, there's your three stories. They all happened in either Wisconsin or Texas or Florida. It could have all been all three in the same state. Could be 2 and 1. Could be one of each. All kinds of malfeasance going on. I do believe that Kurt in Lester Prairie has all the answers. Is that correct, Ryder?
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll give you the quick recap here. The first story we heard, gentleman in a hurry is the way to describe that. Mm-hmm. Busted for doing 155 miles per hour. Ryder, where do you think that story went down?
Okay, this sounds very Miami Vice to me. I'm going with Florida.
Fletcher?
It seems, I don't know, the non-regional diction and the simplicity of it all felt like Wisconsin to me.
All right, Kurt, where did my man get pulled over doing 155?
Florida.
There you go. Sunny FLA.
Okay.
Son of a bee sting.
All right, the second story, a gentleman who had knocked off a jewelry store fleeing from the police, caught on foot, also nude. Mm-hmm. The Naked Thief. Sounds like a play from...
The Naked Thief?
My favorite Isbin work. It's a figurative thing. You got to understand. No, Ryder, where do you think the naked jewelry thief was apprehended?
Okay, we got crime, we got nudity, we've got fancy jewelry. I'm going Florida again.
Wow. Fletcher?
Trifecta of absurdity. I'm going with Florida as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Kurt, what's the answer?
Texas.
Texas, baby.
Oh.
Tejas.
Okay.
Finally, a woman Sandra Nichols, 63-year-old woman with over 20 felony charges on her arrest record, pulled over by for a traffic stop, shot by the officer during this stop, and then drives herself to the hospital where she is then arrested. Ryder, what do you think?
Okay, somebody with a rap sheet this long, I really think that you did the trifecta today. Oh, I'm obviously wrong, but I'm going Florida, Florida, Florida. This last one is Florida.
Fletcher?
I had Florida initially, but because it's gone Florida, Texas, I'm switching mine to Wisconsin.
Fair enough. Kurt, what do we got?
Florida, baby.
There we go.
The old FTF. Florida, Texas, Florida.
I got the old skunkaroo today.
Right
0.
on.
Well
Kurt,
done, Ryder.
Kurt, you've won tickets to see the Wild, man. That's December the 16th against the Capitals. Congratulations, sir. Have a great game.
Thanks a lot, man.
And
You got
well
it.
done, Kurt.
Yeah,
Nice job.
sit tight. Fair enough. That's a fine round of Wisconsin, Texas, Florida. I'm off the hook for a few weeks. Whew, glad to sneak that one in.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Speaking of woohoo, that's how I feel because Mary Lucia is in studio. Good morning, Mary.
Absolutely.
How art thou?
There's that voice. Sounds good in my cans. We're good, and we're already bitching about the Timberwolves. Go ahead. Let her rip.
All right, here's the thing. Now, at the beginning of the season, I knew that they were going to they were trading Walker. That upset me.
Yep.
And keeping Rudy, who at that point had not performed as we would like. Again, I get that he may have had 2 good years, but I'm not sure when that was or what team that was with. So it was like, okay, he's clearly a big salary. And then I start getting very, very nervous when they're like courting Ja Morant. It's like, do we need that? Because that's kind of like Ant Jr. in the maturity department.
Exactly.
So, anyways, but no, I'm obsessed with the Wolves, and I know that you expect more from Anthony Edwards, Steve. So he's disappointing you.
Well, if he's going to be the man, that means off the court. More importantly, let's lead the team. 2 straight fourth quarter collapses on the road. It's unacceptable.
I agree. I agree.
And even furthermore, he said he wants to be the man.
Yeah.
So let's go be the man.
You know, and honestly, too, there should be asterisks after games that we lose by 1 point. That kills me almost.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's horrifying, and we can talk all day about this. But Mary, you came here not to talk T-Wovles. So at least we didn't bait you with that. The memoir out today. What doesn't kill me makes me weirder and harder to relate to. I've said this a couple times because it's true. I read it a few months ago. I got an advance copy, and then I read it again, and then I read it again. Okay. And it's outstandingly roller coasterish insanity. And I want to say, as someone who's also written a book, I know it can be there's a lot that goes into putting all this stuff down on paper. My book is all about self-imposed lunacy. Yours is about self-imposed and external, and in ways I cannot even begin to imagine. So all this to say, difficult, healing, revealing. What did you least expect that happened as you wrote this book?
You know, I guess my working title, if this gives you any idea, while I was in the process of writing it, was Nothing Works, because there was literally at that point, I saw no light at the end of the tunnel. I saw no hope. So it sort of didn't feel cathartic in a sense. Right. But in the same way, too, I promised everybody, I'm not writing 270 pages of like, I was scared and then I was terrified and then I thought, no, there has to be humor because I can find humor in hell. So, yeah.
So if anybody's unaware, I'll cut to the chase. You dealt with very sincerely and very seriously and very horrifically a stalker.
Yeah.
Not for a minute, but for years. And you go into great detail and everything that was happening and then also how it made you feel, and then punctuated with hilarious other stories from your life. Because life doesn't happen one lane at a time. You're still dealing with being a radio personality of your own, still dealing with things you just want to do and other things you might want to have in life. And yet this one thing is a shadow that was limiting and ultimately impacting every part of your life.
It was. And so if you are a radio host, and I think if you are good at your job, you're pretty Authentic. There's not a lot of hidden. I don't have a second persona. This is it. This is me. So whatever it was that I was putting out there, it was successful for me for 28 years in this market.
Yeah.
But it was also the very thing that attracted a very unstable person.
Yeah, for sure. And you also had to deal with a situation that anybody who's been in your situation probably goes, oh, of course, which is not being taken seriously.
Oh,
and I think in a certain way, there are certain levels where that has to be the worst part of it, because you are anyone in that situation is thinking, am I nuts? And then you're being told by other people's lack of concern, maybe I am.
Yeah. This is, or that somehow you attract these weirdos that sort of only you looch. But I think for me, yeah, it was really frustrating. I mean, starting at the top down, but with, the responding officers every single time I had to call 911, which was a lot. My favorite was the night that somebody had broken my storm door. I didn't have my cameras at that point, so I didn't know who it was. I had a good idea, but calling the cops 2 a.m. I'm standing amongst broken glass, and the cop says to me, "Are you sure you're his type?"
Oh, my.
And then proceeds to say that bulb is illegal. The wattage of your motion light is, because it could have lit Yankee Stadium. But yeah, it was. You know what? That's an illegal light bulb. And I'm just standing there. Mm-hmm. It was one of those things too, where you had to retell the story and then get it like shorter and more condensed each time that the cops came out. But it really truly felt ultimately you had to be your own advocate.
Wow. Mary Lucia is with us on Gorman in the Morning. What Doesn't Kill Me Makes Me Weirder and Harder to Relate To, a memoir, is available now in bookstores and wherever you buy books. You mentioned a very public life for years on the radio and doing it. And I would say especially the way you did it. Not to say, again, I'm not saying you attracted these people, but I'm saying, but your show was very like you.
Yeah.
You spent a lot, what you went through with your pets, with your family, with your friends, everything was on the table. And so I guess this is I don't mean to sound trite, but any regrets? Do you look back and think, and again, this is all on this guy who did this. I'm not saying you should have or could have done it differently, but take away the stalker. Looking at your career, what would you have done differently, if anything?
I have truly defined myself as a person who dreads everything and regrets nothing. Like,
there you go.
Dreaded coming in here,
there it is.
But I'm going to have a big thumbs up when I leave. No, every single thing in my life felt like but no, I don't regret anything. And honestly, I don't think that I would have even had a career in radio if I was, just some
doing bits.
Right. Exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. And then along the way, too, I should mention, these are not spoilers. Trust me, I'm just scratching the surface. Losing loved ones, family members. And again, it's like every lane of your life continues, even though there's this one thing that's just in the way.
And I mean, again, I'm not maybe I am making light of death, but I mean, you can find something funny in almost anything tragic. And I think also it's a good coping mechanism as well. Let's just go for the example of when Hal, our father, passed away. He was at home in hospice, and it was like 2 a.m, and you got to make that call to the mortuary to come pick him up. So we're my brother and I went out into the yard to sort of meet them, and we see this car creeping down the street, turns past the house, and starts walking up to a completely dark house, like the wrong house. We're standing in the yard, lights blazing, doing the dog whistle, like this way. I mean, there were so many absurd things that sure in the moment feel tragic, but I've always been able to take it and just go, well, that was ludicrous, and of course that would have happened. Yes.
Of course. It's you have to be able to, I feel bad for anybody who can't find those moments. I mean, they, whether they're happening to you or someone else, they're still funny.
Right.
You have to be able to, you got to find them.
In the moment, of course, it's quite near impossible because, again, you get pretty broken down if somebody tells you, I know everything you're doing. I know where you are at all times. You believe them because it's a person who is completely unafraid of any consequence. So why wouldn't they do what they say?
Right. Mary Lucia is in studio with us. You woke up this morning, you opened your eyes, first thing on your mind?
Rolling Stones.
There you go. Always.
Yeah, every day. There's nothing weird about that, right?
No.
No. And I feel like the biggest thing was that complete hoax, AI hoax about Mick Jagger endorsing the book. I mean, which is really a bizarre thing. I don't know if you saw this popping up in your feed, but 2 days ago it was Mick Jagger pledging $100 million to get the Epstein tapes released because he had read the book of Virginia. It caught my eye, and then I thought, Mick, is that something he'd do?
Yeah,
no.
But regardless, you've had the Rolling Stones on your brain first thing for many years now.
Absolutely.
First concert you ever saw?
My first concert, and the first time I smelled weed, it was Aerosmith's Permanent Vacation.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my first time I smelled weed was my first concert.
Mm-hmm.
That was Heart, Dog, and Butterfly.
Well,
makes perfect sense.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. First, and I was actually offered a joint, and as an 8th grader, I went. What I said was, "No, man, I'm cool," but it sounded like, "I'm all right, thanks. No, I'm cool, man, thanks." It was more like that.
Okay, what was the first record you bought with your own money?
Beatles 6.
Oh, see, that's a great answer.
Yeah.
All right.
And by the way, I paid $4.44 for it at Drug Fair. Was the name of the store.
Nice.
Not that I can remember these sort of things.
Of course.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And you?
Mine would be, it's not as cool as the Beatles, but it's a cool record. Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Oh, fantastic. I did blow that cover.
You did?
There's a couple of good songs on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Mine has tiger stickers on it, not blow residue. But,
fantastic.
And your first album with your own money.
Billy Joel's Glass Houses.
Oh, nice.
I know, it judge away, but, it's still rock and roll to me.
My sister gave me that album for Christmas because she wanted it, and she knew I'd be like, what the hell am I going to do with this? Yeah. Friday night, I crashed your party. Saturday, I said I'm sorry. Oh, who can remember the glory days of Billy Joel?
The salad days, as you say.
Yes. Start to finish, soup to nuts, how long did this book take?
I would say 6 months to write. And then, as you know, the
real writing comes after you write it.
Oh, my God, in the process of trying to find a publisher. And if you're not like a person who's enjoying promoting yourself, which I am not, so
Same.
It was very difficult for me to I don't want to backdoor anything, so I was truly just sending them out blind.
Yeah.
And that part of it was really a learning experience, of course. But then, then you go through the editing and you go through another edit. And then, this book is cut in half, but I do trust the editors that they just thought, we'll pack it all into a fun-sized grenade.
There is not one wasted word. There's not an extra moment. It is perfect. And again, I experienced the same thing. I turned in a book that's way too long, and at the first thought of editing it, I was so offended.
Of course.
You haven't even read it yet. This is 900 pages of gold.
It's so true.
But the truth is, two things come to mind, which is, when's the last time you recommended a book that you didn't finish yourself?
Right.
And then, it's like, oh yeah, that's right. And then, I don't remember the other one, but that's pretty good. So it's way better to have the reader go, I would keep reading, than to have the reader go, how many more pages?
Right, absolutely. Right. I've lost my place. I put it down. That's a really nice thing to say. I appreciate
this is my favorite thing I've read in several years. Since I got here, I'll just say this, in 3 years, this is my favorite book.
That is and okay, as long as we're doing the thing. I'd read your book, and you know that. I kind of feel like authors might be the new rock stars in some sense, and photographers. But I remember reading your book and interviewing you, and it was really, really the same kind of feeling as that. I got to know you. I felt like I really knew who you were, not just as a person in a band. You have the same ability to display who you are in your writing.
Well, I would recommend everybody read Mary's book, and please leave her the hell alone.
I love you have my favorite blurb, and the whole thing is so
I was honored to have a blurb. I sent one in, but you never know if it's going to be on there. And I was like, all right. But it's really true. Truly, it's a long overdue thrill to have you on the show.
Yeah.
Come on back in. Let's talk Wolves anytime.
Anytime.
I love
anytime.
That.
Okay,
literally. I think that's our new Wolves correspondent right there.
There it is, right there.
You have no idea what you
please
in a heartbeat.
Write this down. What doesn't kill me makes me weirder and harder to relate to. A memoir. It makes a great gift. Go buy a bunch of them, Mary.
Skippy.
Cheers to you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we're almost out of here. We still have time for the last word. As it's our last show of the week, I'm going to go to the Friday tradition and give you a Mark Twain quote.
Game on.
Real fast. There's no sadder thing than a young pessimist, except an old optimist. Mary Lucia, our Timberwolves correspondent, was in to talk about her new memoir, which you need to pick up. Paul Fletcher, what's coming up next on this station?
I'm gonna get the 10 o'clock hour started with some songs that require some whistling, if you don't mind, and then we'll of course go commercial free just after 11:45. That's what we do.
Sounds like a plan. Keep it right here. Minnesota's 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.